Hi everyone, my name's Richard. I've been programming Java for quite a long time, probably 20 years now, but this is the first time I've really talked to anyone in public about it. I've worked on a lot of different sorts of projects. Most recently I've been working as an independent game developer, which is quite rare amongst Java programmers, and most game developers I meet do not use Java. So I have thought you might be interested in my latest project, which is coded in Java, Kotlin and Groovy. So there should now... a quick overview of my talk. So the game's called Retro War. I'm going to tell you why I use Java, how you can use Java, and then there was supposed to be some code at the end, but we probably don't have time for that. So it's a multiplayer party game, a bit like style of Mario Party, for 2 to 16 players. It's a collection of mini games. They're all and then done in an 8-bit style to look retro because I like the 8-bit style, and it's a style I can draw the artwork of. So I didn't need to hire an artist because I wanted to see what I could create. Working just solo basically. I've developed an open source library which all the games use and which you can download and use as well. And I've also developed my own proprietary game engine that some of the games use. It's called Uniblaster, and the idea being that you implement a classic game in Uniblaster and then you can mash up the elements from different classic games together. So, if you say you're going to program in Java, everyone says, no, you should be using C++, you should be using C# now, it's the latest thing in Unity. And the reasons they say that, these are probably the top 3 that I've heard people say. They are that Java's not fast enough, but really that's a load of rubbish because now we've got the hotspot just-in-time compiler. And you get 16 milliseconds per frame usually in a video game to do your code, which is not that much, but honestly Java is more than fast enough, and it's certainly faster than C# and JavaScript and all things other people are using for games now. Then garbage collection, that's quite a major advancement that Java made, was to automate memory management so that the programmer doesn't have to worry about it, which is good because from the programmer's point of view, but the early implementations of garbage collection tended to stop the world and there'd be a pause while your objects were collected, and you can't have a pause of more than 16 milliseconds in a game, so that was bad. And Android was particularly bad. You got people coding Android games. They do this weird sort of version of Java where they never used the new keyword. They'd never create any objects because they didn't want Android to have to do garbage collection. So, but even Android has improved now. Their VM's pretty good, and we've got escape analysis that you can create temporary objects, then the compiler decides not to even create them. We've got generational garbage collection, so stuff in the first generation just gets swept away and it doesn't cost you anything. I'm going to skip over tools, going to run out of time. So if you're going to program a game in Java, you need to push pixels to the screen. You need a library that can do that. The most popular cross-platform one for doing that is OpenGL. It's available on PC, Windows, Mac, Linux, and you can use the lightweight Java game library wrapper. If you want to do a 3D game, there's an engine called JMonkey Engine that is a commercial quality 3D game engine. It uses lightweight Java game library underneath. You don't have to learn any OpenGL. What I use is libgdx, which is a framework that concentrates on 2D games mostly. Again, it uses OpenGL underneath, but for mobile games it also uses OpenGL-ES, which is a mobile equivalent, and it can transpile your Java code to JavaScript for the web, and it can ahead of time compile it to ARM code for iOS. So the idea is to get people programming, you Java programmers, to program your own mini games that you would like to play. if you can make a mini game by compiling your Java code, Kotlin code, Groovy code to a jar file, and insert it as a plugin into RetroWar. So that's the end of the talk. You can find documentation how to do that on my website. The game will be out soon, so please buy it at retrowar.net. And I'll probably be looking for a new project to work on come January, so I'm especially looking for VR projects, but anything considered. Thank you.